Thank you, Yang Dipertua. I would like to touch on the part of offences relating to harassment and safety in this Women's and Girls Protection Act that will be implemented soon. I hopefully that there's a section on Section 25 of HILMI where it says that any man who is being discovered with one or more women conjointly who are not being his wife or mahram. This is actually a provision that have been implemented in many states in Sharia criminal offences, and we find that it is very good to be implemented in Malaysia as a whole. So that's why we would like to insert this at a federal level. And it relies on the Surah Al-Isra ayat 32 saying that do not come near to adultery, and this commandment is meant for individuals and society as a whole to warn that to not being in a situation that could stimulate to being adultery. And as a country, Malaysia, full of modesty and religions, we want to not commit adultery illegally, and we also want to protect the lineage of the family. The next section is I would like to refer to the Islamic source, which is Sadd al-Zara'i, where it means that blocking of means or also referred to as to blocking to the evil deeds. This principle is a gatekeeping to not cause floodgates, where we inserted in section 30 prohibitions of advertisement containing indecent representation of women, and no one may print or cause to be published, arrange for, or participate in the publication, exhibition of any advertisement that contains indecent or obscene representation of women in any form. We know that nowadays with technology, the internet is public, everyone can access to it. We want the women and girls to be protected. Hence why it is a part of government to protect the women to not publish any advertisement, promotions on TV, on internet, on social media containing indecent representation of women. Next, moving on to the creation of Section 36, abusing women's privileges, where it stated that any male who uses a particular designated section for women in any place without reasonable grounds and in a manner where it could prejudice women's safety shall commit an offence, be liable to fine not exceeding 100 ringgit or to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 3 days or 2 both. I think we need to realize on to put more attention to the social context of the law, as crime surveys and empirical studies from many parts of the world showing that women are actually scared or fearful of the potential violence created by men in public spaces. A number of explanations given, which included the vulnerability of women in public because of a lesser physical ability to defend themselves. So we need to realize that the creation of these places for women, especially in the train, in the bus, in public transport, and parking slot, for example, is created for women to feel safe. So why we need to be more strict on this creation of punishment to prevent any male to just use the designated places. Hence, why we want to insert this punishment into this new act. Lastly, before I pass the floor to the Mr. Speaker, I would like to again to touch on the section 28 on the any word or gesture intended to offend someone's modesty. Let me remind all of us that Malaysia is a country of culture, a country of religions. If we see sociologically or in demographic aspect, everyone is being respectful to each other, and no other Western countries' values we should adopt here. None of them. We can see that women has been bullied and with such a lame excuse that they use Western terms to offend modesty of women. Hence, the creation of this section 28, which includes throwing bad words, insulting, catcalling, swearing, making online harassment, provoking, name-calling, mocking, and making offensive comments shall be an offence under this Women's and Girls Protection Act 2022 to avoid from a situation or incident that could put women or girls to be a victim or to be disadvantageous. Hence, I rest my case.
Ketua, saya mohon menyokong.
Yang berhormat, sekarang saya kemukakan masalah kepada majlis untuk diputuskan. Mengikut peraturan mesyuarat 54/2, usul ini hendaklah diputuskan dengan tidak boleh dipinda atau dibahas. Masalahnya ialah usul seperti yang dikemukakan tadi hendaklah disetujukan. Ahli yang bersetuju kata bersetuju.
Setuju.
Yang tidak kata tidak. Sebelah suara usul disetujukan. Yang berhormat, mesyuarat Dewan hari ini ditangguhkan sehingga suatu tarikh yang tidak ditetapkan. Terima kasih ahli-ahli yang berhormat semua.
Terima kasih semua.